I bought the pant, love the pant. These are amazing pants. Yep, you're right. These are the best pants. And then a couple people were like, those pleats don't look good on you. I don't care what you think. Okay? Okay. I'm getting too excited. Let me back up a minute. They're also not size inclusive, which I think is a real shame. So while I just crapped on Everlane a little bit, but pump the brakes, I don't need another one. How things are made, where things are made, what things cost. While viscose isn't polyester, it's also not that great. I'm learning. Does this hurt your eyes when you look at me? Hello, welcome back to my channel where I'm doing this thing called Year of 5 Finds, and it's basically October, and I'm gonna share with you what I bought way back in August. Luckily, I will say, not luckily, but just like interest-wise, everything I have to show you is like valid current things that work for fall. It's not like I'm about to show you bathing suits and like super summery things. One or two things might be, but the rest are good. I actually had 6 things this month because I had a bonus thing while I was on vacation, which was in August. So before I dive into the 5 things, I am gonna tell you that it is basically towards the end of September when I'm filming this. So I have my 5 plus bonus August things to share with you right now. I already have my 5 things for September, so I am gonna try to get really on top of filming September earlier than normal. And then I've been talking about, I feel like multiple times here and on Instagram, about how I'm going to do a midpoint check-in with how things are going right now. We are way past the midpoint. We are into the 3/4 of the way through the year point. But I've been taking copious notes in my phone. That will be filmed very soon as well because I feel like it's really like timely for me, and how the next couple of, even this month actually, August, September, and what I have my eye on set on for October, I think it's a good time to talk more about the conscious like pivot that I'm taking in terms of shopping, either if it's more conscious brands or thrifting or paying attention to fabrics and whatnot. Just want to be more conscious in all of the ways. And so that is something that is not necessarily new that I'm doing, but I feel like I'm doing a lot more of it actively now. So let's jump into, there's one more thing I actually wanted to say before I get started. And that is that when you are shopping less, it feels really special when you're given a gift from someone. I have a friend, Ashley, who is a sweet friend of mine. She came over. This was like way back in August. I think it was the one of the final episodes of The Bachelorette. And I hosted her and another friend to watch that episode. And so she brought me like a sweet little hostess gift, which was earrings from Rebel Reclaimed. I've talked about them before. They're a sweet little gift shop. They have tons of different things, but they also have great jewelry in their shop. And so she bought me these really cute earrings. I love these. And they feel a little bit more summery than I would say right now, like fall, with the crispness that's in the air outside right now. But I love these a lot, and I've worn these quite a few times with dresses and whatnot over the last month or so. So I just wanted to point out that when you are bringing in less things into your wardrobe and being really conscious about it, receiving gifts at random are that much sweeter, and you appreciate it that much more. Because I'm not counting this as one of my 5 things, because this was just like an unexpected extra kind thing as a gift that a friend gave me. But anyways, very nice. Thank you, Ashley. Okay. Let's get on to my 5 things. Let's stay with Rebel Reclaimed and jewelry because this necklace is from there. I have been trying to find dainty necklaces and different things that could layer with other necklaces, and so I found this one when I was there. And it's from a local artist. She sells on in the store, but she sells on Etsy and on Instagram as Pretty Little Things, I believe. And her name is Dory. And this was $18. And so I really like it. It's kind of like a sunburst. And she has different like bigger sizes of the same sort of burst but bigger. I just liked the dainty size of this and thought it could work well layered with some of the other smaller like little necklaces that I have. And so I really liked this one. So I love that. It ticks off a couple of boxes with being from a local store, but also supporting a local independent female artist. So love that. So that was my first thing. Okay, the second thing is sort of summary. Again, August. So in the beginning of August, I went into H&M. I think I had something to return at H&M. And I went in there and I saw this dress. Now, you may or may not know that I really love and get a lot of use out of dresses that are button front. I think they're very versatile, especially in the summer. You can wear them open as like sort of kimonos in a way. You can wear them as like a bathing suit cover up, which is something that I did a lot with this dress. But before I show you the dress, I want to say that this was the first experience that I had in H&M where I was really conscious in the store of looking at brands. Now, I have bought things before from H&M's Conscious line, and they have a very small line within that. Usually, there's tags and signs and you can see what the conscious things are. But I think you can also be a more conscious shopper if you just choose to not buy polyester. Now, you're going to see me in the next, you might have already seen me talk about it on Instagram, you're going to see me next month. I bought a skirt that I didn't realize was polyester because I'm learning what polyester is. I really sort of literally thought that polyester was like going out tops. And I don't just mean fancy, but I also mean blouses and button-up tops and things that just feel more like dressy tops. And I've now learned that polyester can be like in sweatshirt material, in velvet, in a lot of other things. And I think this is just sort of the education that I'm giving myself. But anyways, so that's a next lesson for September when I thought I was buying something that wasn't polyester. But I still love it so much that that is something that counts for me. If I love it enough and it's so mean, it's super versatile and I can see it working into my wardrobe flawlessly with a bunch of different things, then I think I've like given it thought instead of just buying something that is like frivolous and polyester and I'm gonna wear it for like a night going out or like to a wedding or something. I just want to like have given it a little bit more thought. That's what this whole thing is about. So anyways, I walked into H&M and it was the first time that I had really looked at tags on everything as I was shopping. And number one, the really good thing about that is you're able to feel everything and see like, oh yes, this is polyester, and by the time I was from the front of the store to the back of the store, I knew it was polyester before I even looked at the tag. You just sort of get used to what polyester in that particular store looks and feels like. So the first sort of order of business was I just chose to, if I realized right away that it was polyester, I didn't even pick it up to try it on. I didn't even want to like find out if I like it enough. I just sort of was like, oh, too bad, this is polyester, not trying it on. So that was sort of my process of elimination before I even take it back to the fitting room. So I was going through the store, I felt and saw this dress. It basically is like button front all the way down. It's sort of robish, to be quite honest. It's sort of like kimono robish. It buttons from the front to the bottom. It has this little tie right here, which sort of plays into the look of it looking even more like a robe. I saw a picture of some of my local friends. They had gone out on like a girls' night or something, and my friend Kristen had this on, and my friend Abby had a similar but totally different blue and white toile like outfit on. And so I didn't even think about it until I was in the fitting room and I had this on and I was like, wait a second, I think my friend owns this. So I was scrolling on her Instagram to see if this was her dress and I was like, oh, this is her dress. And so I had to message her and I was like, I was just in H&M and I tried on your dress and I love it, I'm getting it. So I liked it first. And then I was like, wait a minute, okay, so this isn't polyester, but it's viscose. What the heck is 100% viscose? So I went online and I looked at, just like Googled, is viscose conscious? And there's a lot of information about whether or not it is. Turns out viscose can be ethically made, viscose cannot be ethically made. It's sort of like cotton, which is a whole nother topic for another day of whether or not cotton is conscious. Yes, it is natural. Yes, it can be grown, but there's a lot of dirty things that come into it with the involvement of farmers in the ecosystem and a lot of different things and chemicals. So viscose is also rayon. There are more ethical ways to make it that can be known as modal, which is just using less chemicals, I believe. Bamboo, which is also natural, but it takes a lot of chemicals and a lot of water to break something that's hard down as bamboo into something that can be fiber. So that's a whole other topic. And then in terms of more ethically made viscose, lyocell, or Tencel, which is a brand of lyocell, are a couple of ways that viscose can be made or produced. So I guess the biggest negative global impact that viscose has is the deforestation of our forests, because it takes a lot of natural resources, but also water and chemicals to make the fabric. So while viscose isn't polyester, it's also not that great. And so that's something that once I sort of took it home and I read more about it, I was like, okay, viscose, if you are going to Google whether or not it's conscious, you're going to get some gray area. But if you really break it down, unless you're buying something from a conscious brand where it's consciously made into particularly lyocell / the brand Tencel or Model, it's probably not good for the environment / anything. So I'm learning. So what does that mean? I don't know. I bought this dress. I love this dress. This dress gave me a little education on viscose. Okay, so the next two things are from Everlane. I've been trying to buy things from Everlane. I know that when we speak of conscious brands and ethically made, sustainably made things, everyone always talks about Everlane because they're doing it so well. I have to be honest with you. Number one, I listened to a couple of podcasts with one of the owners of Everlane, and he is awesome. Highly recommend. I'll try to link it down below. I was really thought he was cool and so transparent, which is the main thing about their business, is how transparent they are about how things are made, where things are made, what things cost, where the factories are, and how things are managed and whatnot. And I love that. But I wanted with all my heart to buy a lot of things from Everlane. If I'm being honest, I've returned a lot of things from Everlane because they just haven't worked for me. Last year I bought a pair of wide leg pants that just didn't fit my body type right. They did not look right on me, and I love a wide leg pant. Earlier this summer I bought a white sweater that I liked the look of it, but I just didn't like the sleeves were a little big, and so you couldn't push them up. It just didn't feel functional. It didn't feel like a favorite thing that I would turn to all the time. And then I also bought a skirt that was a little bit of like an A-line, kind of tobacco colored. It wasn't denim, but it sort of read like a colored denim skirt. And I really liked it, but the size was wrong, and I was going to exchange it, but Everlane doesn't really have like a exchange policy. You basically have to mark that you're going to exchange it, but they return it and then give you a credit, and then you have to wait for it to return in their system, and then you can buy it, which over the course of like the time that you get something and you end up getting that is like basically 3 to 4 weeks or a month. And so I returned the thing as credit so that I wouldn't get like penalized like $7 for shipping it back, but they just did it as a return anyways, and I just never ended up rebuying the skirt. So I was sort of feeling like for a while, like Everlane and I want to make it work, but it's just not going to work. And they're also not size inclusive, which I think is a real shame and a real missed opportunity. And again, if I'm being honest, maybe Everlane hasn't done inclusive sizing because maybe they don't know how. And what I mean by that is I am a size 8, 10, depending on the pant or the cut, 12. And I feel like the things look very differently, like wildly different on me than they do on thinner people. Now, when you go up in size, you can't just use a straight cut. You can't just, I don't mean straight cut within the fabric. I mean, it's not just like a basic form that you can use, like what works for a 2 is also going to work for a 10. No, not necessarily. You need fit models for those types of things. And that's why some people who are larger sizes, like it just doesn't work out. It doesn't translate. And I feel like I wonder if that's the case with Everlane, because some of the things that I tried on, particularly bottoms-wise, just don't translate onto my shape, and they don't look how I want them to. But in this case, I have bought 2 shirts, and I finally had some good luck. So while I just crapped on Everlane a little bit, I like the 2 shirts that I bought. So I don't know what I'm saying. I'm just saying I thought that I wasn't going to like them, and then I was like, maybe I do. I'm not sure. Things are still questionable. But so I bought the t-shirt that I'm wearing right now, which is blown out and you can't even see it, but it's a short sleeve boxy one pocket, 100% cotton t-shirt. $18. I think it's a great price point for a conscious, ethically made t-shirt. And I like this t-shirt. I like where it falls, especially with denim. It's like so easy to just front tuck it just the tiniest bit, or not tuck it at all. But with like higher waist skirts and pants, it's nice to be able to tuck it in all the way. It can tuck in all the way. It's not so short that like it's gonna pop out again. But you can also just do a little bit of the front tuck and not feel like it's sloppy. Sometimes I have that problem with t-shirts that are a little bit too long, and then I feel frumpy if I do a front tuck. This is like literally the perfect length of a shirt. I like it a lot. I highly recommend it if you're looking for a good perfect t-shirt. Yeah. Okay, the second thing that I bought from Everlane is this boxy clean silk blouse. I was surprised at how much I like it. And I have to be honest with you, when I first pulled it out of the box, I was like, oh. I mean, I knew that it was silk. I knew that the fabrication was silk when I was buying it. But for some reason, I had seen it on a couple people on Instagram, and I think Natalie Borton, I follow her. She might have been one that it looked more substantial, like in photos or in even in movement on Instagram. When I got it, this, for one, it feels very thin, but very flowy and easy breezy in a nice way. I actually really like it, but I just was expecting it to be more substantial. It's $118. And that's just this black and white stripe version. The other versions, they have a lot of solid colors, are less. Maybe $98, so I don't know why this stripe one costs more. It's the only one that's $118. But the other thing is, you know how sometimes, like, you remember in the 90s when they had like those shops at the mall where like that awful oversized art where it looks like lines, but then if you stare at it so much that your eyes go cross, you see a dolphin pop out and you're like, whoa. That's what this looked like to me. I was like, am I going cross-eyed? I literally went around to my 3 children and my husband, and I was like, does this hurt your eyes when you look at me? Because it hurts when I look down or I look directly at it, but like I don't want to blind people, but I feel like the stripes should have been maybe a little like wider each and further apart, because it hurts my eyes. Even looking at it right here in the in the screen, I'm like, oh, it hurts a little bit. I don't know, it's weird. I haven't thought about it since I've worn it. I've gotten a lot of compliments on it. It looks great. Open over a tank top. It looks great buttoned up and not tucked in. It looks great all the way tucked in with a skirt. It looks great front tuck just a little bit. I like how the back, how it just sort of is just like, I don't know. I just like the subtlety of the stripe situation when I'm not going blind. But I do like it. They have it in a really pretty blush pink color that I was considering for a minute. Again, because the shopaholic brain is like, I love this, I need another one, but pump the brakes, I don't need another one. But if I did, I would probably buy it in blush pink. But I do like this one. I've worn it quite a few times so far. The next thing is from Anthropologie. If you follow me on Instagram, you already know all about these. I'm looking at the fabric content because you know what? I literally did not look at the fabric content until just this moment because I loved these pants so much. So I was like, I don't even care what these are made out of. I mean, I knew that they didn't feel like polyester, but I was like, I don't care what these are, I'm getting them. So I haven't even shown you the pants yet, but I'm already telling you that it's 62% cotton, 35% lyocell. So anyways, these are, I'm getting too excited. Let me back up a minute. Every end of summer for the last 3 years, this is my 3rd year running, I have found my favorite pants of the year at Anthropologie. My first year, it was a long black pant, silky, with like a subtle slit up the front. It sounds weird. They were super great. Last year, they were an emerald green wide leg pant that I still wear those all the time. I love those pants so much. This year, I sort of knew, not as like the pants of the year, I didn't think I would find a pant of the year for myself, but I was like, I kind of want, like, why can't I find a pant that looks oversized, that is not like a size, like 3 sizes bigger than I am? Why can't I buy my size that fits my waist, that is just an oversized, like, khaki style, like maybe it's a slight drop crotch, maybe it's not, maybe it's pleated, maybe it's not, like, but khaki style that's just like comfortable. And I picked these up. I wasn't sure what I was gonna find until I put them on, and I was like, holy, these are it. These are it. So they're a button fly. They sort of feel like a khaki. I thought that they were sort of a slight bluish color, but it actually just says on the website that I think it's like a light black or light charcoal or something. They've got pockets in the back. So they remind me a little bit of AC Slater. But if you search AC Slater's picture, his waist was teeny, teeny, tiny, and his pants were actually very quite different. But in my mind, that's what these were. They're just like ankle length, lovely. They hit like you can almost wear them, like you can pull them up a little bit, but I also can slouch them down and wear them lower too. They were, I don't even know how much they were anymore. I think they were like 120 maybe, and I had a 20% off coupon. I had a birthday coupon because my birthday month is August. I tried these on and I stepped out of the fitting room and the gal was right there and I was like, these pants are amazing. And she was like, so many people who work there have these pants. These are great pants. Everybody loves them. By the way, everyone has sized down 1 or 2 sizes. And I was like, what? Now this is a size 29. I'm normally a 29 or 30 depending on the brand. I probably could have gotten a 28, so I understand what she means by size down 1 or 2. But this was the smallest size they had. So that I didn't even have that opportunity. But this does come in one other color. It's sort of like a deeper khaki color, like a yellowy khaki kind of color. Quite a few people on Instagram after I posted about it were like, I bought the pant, love the pant. These are amazing pants. Yep, you're right. These are the best pants. And then a couple people were like, those pleats don't look good on you. And I was like, that'll be fine. Thank you. I love them. Like, I'm so excited about them. Listen, if you don't like them and you think I look ridiculous in them, you can think those thoughts in your head. Keep them to yourself. Don't tell me. Don't shit on my parade. I love the pants. I don't care what you think. Okay? Okay, final thing was my bonus thing. So in the month of August, my family and I went up to Suttons Bay, Michigan. So as a family in the summer, we do a lot of kayaking, paddleboarding, sea-dooing. You don't necessarily need a water shoe to do any of those things, but I do prefer a water shoe because I don't like stepping on gross stuff in sand or seaweed or rocks or what is that. I just don't like not knowing what's beneath me in water, you know what I mean? We were staying at a house that was super rocky. My whole entire family brought water shoes except for me. And I was like, oh crap, we're here all week, I'm gonna need a water shoe. You know what? I've kind of been wanting to buy a better water shoe anyways. One morning the kids and I went off to the little downtown Suttons Bay area and we went into the first shop. This was like meant to be. We went into the first shop and I knew mentally like I want either a Choco or a Tiva. And so we went into the shop. They had a 40% off shoes sale. All shoes, 40% off. And it kind of looked like a nice higher end department store. And I was like, they're not going to have water shoes here. But I went in the back and they had a small selection of water shoes and they had Chacos and they had size 8 in black. They had exactly what I wanted. So I don't know what like shopping god like answered my prayers that these shoes that are made in Michigan, by the way, made in Rockford, Michigan. One of my dearest friends works for the company, actually. I like texted her immediately. I was like, oh my gosh, I got Chacos and they're 40% off and they were exactly my size and they were like exactly what I needed at the moment. Like, how did that happen? So she was excited, I was excited. Anyways, I wore these the whole entire week. I also live across from a lake and do a lot of like paddleboarding. And again, I don't necessarily need water shoes for that type of thing. But now that I've had them, I actually prefer like when you bring a kayak in and out of the water. It's actually way more nice to have a water shoe on. So these are like super comfortable. Like I said, they're made in Michigan, so it's supporting a local company. But these are just like high performance, good, comfortable, ergonomic shoes. I posted about it on Instagram and so many people were like, I've had my same shoes for 10 years. I've had mine for 6. I've had mine for 15. Like, it's just a good shoe. And especially since I got the basic black, like I'm just going to have these forever. And being that we live in 6 months of the year, we are around water all the time, like it's just going to be a good purchase for me. And so I'm so glad that I was able to get these, exactly what I wanted, on sale, and they remind me of our vacation, so that's pretty perfect. All right, well, those were the 5/6 things that I bought in the month of August. September is basically almost over right now in real life as I'm filming this, and so Probably next week, you might see me talk about what I bought in September because I already have all those things. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I will see you again in another video really soon. Bye.